Welcome back, everyone. It's Justin. It's a weird feeling, honestly. Mask restrictions are being lifted, people are starting to go back to the theaters, and movies are being released exclusively in these theaters again, for the most part. Today, I'm going to be talking about the 9th film in this ridiculous Saw franchise, Spiral. Before I get into this spoiler-free review, I just wanted to make you guys aware that I wasn't really too big into the Saw films. Jigsaw was a decent horror icon, but other characters like Freddy or Jason are way above him for me. I liked James Wan's first Saw film a lot. The second and third one were decent at best. And Tobin Bell, I'm not gonna lie, is great at what he does. But I didn't even bother with the rest of the Saw films after the third one. And if you guys are in a similar boat, don't worry. You really don't have to see all those other Saw films to appreciate this one at all. I mean, to be fair, the movie's called Spiral from the Book of Saw, so it's pretty clear that it's a spin-off. The film is directed by Darren Bousman, and he's a familiar name in the Saw franchise because he directed the second, third, and fourth film. Focusing on this one now, the setup for this film is pretty generic. Some Jigsaw wannabe is killing off cops, so it's up to Detective Zeke Banks, played by Chris Rock, and his new partner to crack the case. First off, the big thing that attracted me to this movie was Chris Rock playing a serious role. And he killed it. I really felt his emotion in the movie, and he had a little bit of wit to the character that just made him entertaining as hell. He had depth. Even though he seemed like an asshole at times, there's a reason why he has trust issues in this movie. He plays by his own rules at times, and it gets him in trouble. The character development for him in this movie was on point. Unfortunately, for the rest of the characters though, I could give two shits about them. The supporting cast had poor delivery on their dialogue, uninteresting motives, and hell, even Samuel L. Jackson's character wasn't even that interesting. I guess that's what happens when you only get like 7 or 8 minutes of screen time. But now to talk about what everyone comes to the Saw movies for. The kills and the traps. Truth be told, they were pretty damn vanilla in this movie compared to the other Saw films. I mean, there might have been like one towards the later portion of the film for me that I thought was cool, but that's about it. The other Saw films had like 50% crime and police stuff, and the other 50% was like traps and horror. But honestly, I didn't get that at all with this one. With this, you got more or less a CSI TV show episode that was rated TVMA. It's actually pretty hard for me to even call this a horror film because, if I'm gonna be honest, this new killer, so to speak, that's in the film wasn't even intimidating at all. Even the voice seemed cringe. He was just like, "Hello, Detective Banks. Would you like to play a game?" I was like, what the hell is that? Like previously, you gave us Tobin fucking Bell. And obviously, no one after that is gonna come close to him. But this was the best y'all could come up with? I will say, true fans of the Saw franchise will appreciate all the references and callbacks to the other films, and one of my favorite parts was the Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson banter between one another. But speaking of Chris Rock, if it weren't for his character in this film, I think it would have been dog shit. So at the end of the day, this movie is pretty generic, the supporting cast is bland, and the shocking moments, or hooks if you will, have been previously done in other Saw movies. And at the end of the film, they do leave it open for a sequel. Big surprise. Regardless of the director taking the franchise in a mildly new direction, it still felt lazily done. Mildly entertaining, Spiral gets a 5.5 out of 10.